Yeah, it was good. Two great lacrosse games.
Couldn't ask for more out of either of them, really. That was one of the most exciting games.
It wasn't, unfortunately we ended up on the short end of the stick, but I thought the guys played hard. Um, made some silly mistakes, some unforced errors. That caught up to us a few times, but overall, you got to be proud of them. It's a long run, had to come to an end sometime. The goal wasn't to go 18-0. You know, so you just got to reset. We have them again next week. They're a great athletic team, resilient, got off to a great start, and we had them 13-11 about 4 minutes to go. So, kudos to them. They played hard as well.
Did you sense a little tiredness, like you were coming back again for the second straight night?
I don't think it's because of back to back. I think it's maybe because of the way the game started, and always, no matter what sports you're playing, whenever you're playing catch up, it always takes a little bit more energy out of you. And last night in Toronto we're down 5-0 at the end of the first. Today we're down 4-0 with 10 minutes into the game. So we had to expend a lot of energy trying to catch up. And we did climb back and took the lead and just couldn't hang on. But I don't want to use the excuse, oh, it's back-to-back nights. That's a weak excuse. It just happens in this league that we don't have many of them. But the guys are in great shape. It shouldn't play a factor. Maybe if there's 3 games in 3 nights, it'd be a little different. And if we had a tough travel, we were in Toronto, we drove here, it was a big deal.
You mentioned in your first answer, but get to play San Diego again next week. Just how much of, I guess, is that now a focus given they just gave you your first loss and just given how physical the game was?
Well, it would make it easier for us to get up for to play against them. San Diego's a beautiful place to visit, and sometimes it's a little confusing when you go from a cold climate like we have here to a warm environment like they have there. And I remind the guys it's business first, and this gives us more of a reason to preach that. So, they're a great team. They proved it tonight. They beat Toronto last week as well in Toronto, so we got our hands full next week. But this kind of gives us a little bit more incentive to prepare and be better.
I'm not sure what you mean by Buffalo's not a tropical paradise, but
Oh, I love Buffalo. It's just not warm here.
yeah, yeah. Just,
I do like the cold weather.
Yeah.
I do like a break from the cold weather. In the middle of the winter, it's fine.
Wait until this week.
Pardon?
Wait until this week.
Yes, yeah.
What was the message to the team tonight after such a hard fall?
The message was, what, just we got to learn from our mistakes. I think one of them is getting off to a better start and minimize our unforced turnovers, and capitalize on our opportunities when we have a chance. Like I said earlier, it would be great to go 18-0, but we're in a tough league here. The National Lacrosse League has a lot of great teams, a lot of parity, and I'm proud of the effort the guys have put over the last, several years. And it just happens to be that we were on a pretty good run and it ended today. But I'm still proud of the guys. I can't fault them for effort. The guys gave it their all, and fought tooth and nail. And San Diego was a really good team and had a great goal to finish the game.
Did you see any common elements between the starts of the 2 games? Or was it unforced errors at the start? Or just
No, it was just flat. We were just kind of flat. I don't know if we're, having such a good record. I don't know if that's what it is. Like, kind of just waiting to feel them out, see what they're going to bring, which, shouldn't be a surprise. All the teams are quite good, like I mentioned. So, and we have a pretty good rivalry with Toronto. San Diego, we haven't played against them much, but they brought it early and they were capitalizing. Their shooting percentage early in the game was pretty high, and ours was very low. It wasn't, again, same thing in Toronto. We got some chances, didn't score. We got some chances early today, didn't score. So I don't know if it just takes some time to get going for whatever reason. I don't know if it's it's hard to explain, but it would be nice to get off to a better start for sure.
Were you surprised by the physicality that San Diego brought tonight?
I was impressed by how athletic they are. Like, every guy on the floor looked like they can move and was very mobile and had a good stick. So they have a very strong athletic team, and they have some really good goal scorers up front too.
giving up a late goal in regulation, a tying goal like that, you go into overtime, and it almost turns it into a crapshoot, a coin flip, if you will.
It's a little deflating when you give up the lead going to the overtime, especially a 2-goal lead, right? And
But handle it,
yeah, no, it was like about 4 or 5 possessions for each team, and I was reminding the guys we were down to 2 at half, and then we were down 1 at the end of the third, so we won the third. And then even though we gave up the lead, we did win the fourth quarter by 1. So I was reminding them, hey, we gave gave ourselves a chance to win this game in overtime now. It's unfortunate it didn't happen in regulation and didn't happen in overtime. But, the guys played hard. They fought tooth and nail. Both teams were resilient. Both teams are strong. It's tough to win every game.
It might not be a straightforward answer to this, but given the team, primarily this season holding a lead in games, what needs to change for that to come back instead of having to, play comeback like y'all have the past 2 games? Yes.
Well, I think getting off to a better start would help that a lot, right? I kind of. What's the question? The question is.
Question is what needs to happen for y'all to get back to getting off to a better start?
Yeah, better start would be one thing, right? 5-goal lead it's a big deficit to start the game, and fortunately on both games we came back and took the lead. I think that was fortunate enough. That doesn't happen very often when you're down 4 or 5 and you come back. The only good thing about it is it's early in the game. We have a lot of time to make a comeback, but capitalizing on our opportunities would help as well. When we have chances early, let's score.
Is it just a matter of getting goalie, I guess, in the first?
No, I think sometimes people overanalyze things, and it just comes down to putting the ball in the net. And sometimes it goes in, and sometimes it doesn't. There's a lot of great goalies in the league. There's a lot of great shooters in the league, and it's just these little things that people try to figure out, and it's just a matter of who's scoring and who's not. So.
You went almost 11 months without losing.
That's
impressive.
impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive, right? That's good, and that's all over with. We need to start a new run now, and that's what we have to preach, and that's what we have to understand, that it's a competitive league, and like I said, we're playing against San Diego again next week, so we got another tough battle. Start a new streak.
What coaching adjustments did you make to bring your team back from a 4-point deficit at the beginning?
Well, I told the offense to be a little more confident and be more aggressive. Oftentimes when teams pressure like they do, teams back off a bit, and I was just reminding them to, don't back off as much and be aggressive to the net. I thought we had a lot of good defensive stops too, not just on the offense. So the defense did a good job of giving us an opportunity to make that comeback. I thought we shot the ball better. We went with a game plan against their goalie, and when the guys followed it, it seemed to have more success. It's always hard to tell shooters how to shoot, so you got to be careful, how you communicate with your players, and sometimes you get in their heads and you don't want to do that, so you want to have them confident, taking their shot that they feel comfortable with, and hopefully it's that shot that's going to work against that type of goalie.
I assume Connor hasn't asked to be in the power play or anything. He's got a goal.
It was too bad we didn't win that for him, and I almost got 2 actually. We were actually talking about shooting today. Kind of gave him some pointers, so I don't know if that helped at all. But I'm really happy with Connor throughout the season. On the face-off, thought he's been really good for us, and I thought he did a great job again tonight.